Good rising and great awakenings. Ubin Neferni has. Welcome to the Sore Eyes Moon analysis from HeruScopes. My name is Tchiya Amet El-Ma'at. HeruScopes is a Kemetic approach to the 13-month sidereal astrology system, where every celestial body corresponds to a Neteru, a cosmic force, also known as the gods and goddesses. For more information, visit HeruScopes.com. In this episode, we will encounter the current Venus retrograde, the full moon, and even the upcoming Mercury retrograde. Besides, there are 4 planets and 1 star in sidereal Pisces. From the Farmer's Almanac. March's full moon is traditionally called the full worm moon by the Native Americans, who used the moons to track the seasons. Colonial Americans also used these names, especially those of the local Algonquin tribes who lived between New England and Lake Superior. At this time of the moon, the ground begins to soften enough for earthworm cats to reappear, inviting the return of robins and migrating birds. Roots start to push their way up through the soil, and the earth experiences a rebirth as it awakens from its winter slumber. In some regions, this is also known as the sap moon, as it marks the time when maple sap begins to flow, and the annual tapping of maple trees begins. Even though the Farmer's Almanac claims this is the worm moon, the Native American site states clearly that this is the warming moon from the Shoshone Nation, the Nevada-Wyoming area. Warming moon, Uamea. The Almanac mentions the Algonquin, however, the Algonquin call this the Namasak, Quesos, the catching fish moon. Maybe that has something to do with the earthworms. There is no such thing as a worm moon at the Native American moon site. Again, the Algonquin call this moon the catching fish moon. The Cherokee call this the strawberry moon, Anuhiyi. The Lakota and the Sioux call this the moon of the sore eyes, Istawikayazan-wi. In honor of Venus retrograde and Standing Rock, this moon is called the moon of the sore eyes here at HeruScopes. But keep in mind, no tribes on the list have this as a worm moon. Anyway, sore eyes moon. What comes to mind for me is tears falling so much that the eyes become red, sore, and tired, after you are all cried out. Jehuti comes to us as the full moon in Sekhmet, sidereal Leo. Then after the fullness, moves into Aspolia, sidereal Virgo. The reason I chose to call this sore eyes moon is due to the placement of the Venus retrograde in Pikot Sahu, sidereal Pisces, also known as the opening of the portal of Het Heru. In fact, there are 5 planets in this constellation: Ra, Chiron, Jehuti, Heru, and Het Heru. Wow, let's dive right in. The opening of the portal of Het Heru. Opening of the eyes to the beauty path, seeing the beauty in all things. This does not mean denying that there is also the opposite of beauty, but there is no benefit in remaining neutral when it comes to beauty. Choose to see the goodness, to find the goodness, yet remain aware of the balance of forces that exist within the duality. Venus went retrograde on March 4th and will remain in this state until April 15th. This gives us plenty of opportunities to really examine, purify, and heal relationships with those closest to us, and especially the relationship with the self. Venus has a 1.6-year cycle. From lunarplanner.com, quote, "The Venus retrograde is an ideal time for introspection, to reassess our values and desires, that which is important to the heart. Also a time to reassess personal finances. Look at where the Venus retrograde occurs in your personal chart. The other cosmic forces residing in Pikot Sahu or sidereal Pisces brings the power of communication with Jehuti, creativity, Ra, self-healing and self-care, Chiron, and the challenge to be our very absolute best, the battle of Heru, into the playing field of the emotions. If there are any underlying emotions, unresolved issues, unanswered questions, lingering what ifs, etc., now is the moment to dig deep and to share, to be honest, be truthful, be creative. Most of all, remain true to self. Let your heart ask the questions and let your mind receive the answers. Stop thinking so much. This will bring true healing. However, as we are dealing with deep-seated emotions, tears will have to fall. As long as no heads have to roll, you'll be just fine. Everything will be illuminated with the healing power of the sore eyes full moon in Sekhmet, sidereal Leo. Whatever is revealed will become the seed of intention for the coming cycle. As we prepare to plant our intentions when the moon moves into Aspolia once again. On April 9th, the portal of Jehudi opens up, Mercury retrograde, while the portal of Het Heru is still open. This sounds like fun. These alignments again remind us of the myths of these deities, about how the journey of life is really about remembering our divine nature. The word nature comes from the word neter, the cosmic forces of the universe that live within all of us, also known as the gods and goddesses. When openings like this align for us in the heavenly realms, in the celestial realms, we must not delay and walk right in. This is not about avoiding communications or technology. This is not the time to end relationships. Now is the time to up-level all relationships. Express emotions in a way that will lead to deeper understanding and healing. Set or Mars in Tamit Amun, sidereal Aries. Conquered Set takes the lead at the head of the boat. After overcoming the ego, we gain control over our lives. When we allow the ego to dominate us, we suffer, hence the sore eyes. Sometimes crying is a release of pain and sadness, and sometimes crying is merely due to the illusion of lack or sense of separation. When we release the block, we see more clearly. However, if we are just complaining, making demands, or holding on to the pain, we become blind to the light of truth. It can be a challenge, however. We can activate the cosmic force of will and choose the beauty path. To see with the eye of Het Heru, we can choose to win, like Heru. Asar, Pluto, and Rephan, Saturn, remain in sidereal Sagittarius. Travel and wisdom bring rejuvenation and ability to set or reevaluate boundaries in our relationships and our limits. Here are a few good reasons to cry from an article published at goodrelaxation.com called 11 Good Reasons to Cry, How Crying Relieves Stress and Improves Your Health. October 29, 2014, by Amet. Quote, does crying relieve stress? The answer is yes. It seems natural to feel embarrassed when you cry, and some people may think of you as a weak person. But there's more to it than feeling sad, because crying relieves stress and makes you feel better. Crying is free and anyone can do it. There are no side effects when you cry, but it will certainly make your eyes red with tears running down on your cheeks. Crying is not a popular drug, but studies show that it's very effective in making you feel better. Emotional tears are different from the other two types of tears because it contains essential chemicals that are not commonly found in tears that are caused by physical irritants, such as the acidic fumes of chopped onions. Generally, emotional tears contain adrenocorticotropic hormone, prolactin hormone, and a natural painkiller called leucine enkephalin. Crying can protect us from diseases like cold and flu. Crying can prevent sickness. The tears in our eyes help fight against germs. Our tears have the ability to kill 90% of bacteria within a few minutes. Releases your inner feelings. If you experience traumatic events in your life, or if you are suffering from depression, it is essential for you to express your feelings by crying, because some of your problems and deepest longings may accumulate inside the part of your brain called the limbic system, which may cause a more serious mental illness. Promotes clear vision. When we cry, our eyesight becomes clearer because the tears have a moisturizing effect on our eyes, which makes sure that the membrane surrounding our eyeballs will not be dehydrated. Crying helps when dealing with frustration. The problems that we encounter in our daily lives can make us feel helpless and frustrated. Crying relieves stress and frustration because it helps us to let go of all the pent-up feelings, and it enables us to take better control of our lives. Again, these are some good reasons to cry from an article from goodrelaxation.com, Crying Relieves Stress by Amet. From Mayan Magic, the galactic tone for today's From Mayan Magic, the galactic tone for March 12th is 12, understanding. 12 is a gift of great capability of retrospection. It is this ability that allows 12 to connect disassociated parts into a new functioning whole. The energy of 12 is that which presents a new piece of understanding, a new piece of understood information or accumulated experience to be applied. And the Olmec Mayan sun sign for this day, March 12th, 2017, is the sign of wind, or Ik. Breath of spirit, breath of life. Winds embody the power of dissemination and planting of good seeds or ideas. Dreamers and planners with powerful imaginations, wind persons make great orators, and they spread the word of spiritual inspiration as is carried by the wind. Wind is the power behind the movement of natural cycles such as weather, erosion, and cultural change. As the wind, these persons are extremely changeable and adaptable. They may appear inconsistent or fickle to others. Wind can be destructive to self and others by putting on airs. When winds strut and boast, expanding on facts and accomplishments, they are building the dark clouds of trouble that may become hurricanes. A wind day is a good day to send communications of all kinds. So in summary, for the HeruScopes analysis for the Sore Eyes full moon, with the portal of Heru opening and the illumination of the full moon in Sekhmet and the upcoming portal of Jehuti opening in April, we have a tremendous opportunity to heal, expand, reevaluate our relationships and contracts with others, and most importantly with ourselves. And I invite you to listen to some of the music that's included on the page here at Tchiya.com. If you have any questions, you can email me at cosmic@Tchiya.com, and you can sign up to receive your own personal HeruScopes analysis at HeruScopes.com. So with that, I leave you with much love and light. Hotep.